Hello everyone, my name's Lee. This is the JJ Muti Social Screen Reviews, and now I'm doing the original Season 1 review. Now here's the thing, if you don't know what the originals is about, then I would recommend watching the Vampire Diaries since Season 1 to Season 4. But if if you don't want to watch the Vampire Diaries, then I would just look up quick videos about the original family on YouTube and what they're all about. And basically, the original families are the original vampires. Basically, they're the first vampires in humankind. They were once human. Their mother made a spell to make them live forever because she was a witch. And basically, her children became vampires. And one of her children, who was technically not from her husband's side because she had an affair with a werewolf man. And it was a male child, and his name was Klaus. And he became a hybrid in all that sense. And there's a whole long explanation of their story of Esther, Michael, Klaus, and Rebecca, and Elijah, all the and Cole and Finn, all the members of the original families, and you should really see the Vampire Diaries first before jumping to the originals. I recommend seeing the Vampire Diaries since season 1 or season 2.5, because you'll like the Vampire Diaries characters and you'll like the original characters. You might be a fan of both shows, but if not, then you know what this show is all about. Basically, Klaus, the high-tempered, the hybrid-tempered, evil, devilish character that we all loved and hate. And then we also have Elijah the gentleman, the guy that always wears a suit, the vampire, always has morals, always a perfect gentleman. Then we have Rebecca, the naive, blonde little girl, little sister of Klaus and little sister Elijah. She's technically spoiled in a way. She's technically like a brat, but she's really just like a girl that wants to find love and all that stuff, and she easily influenced a bit. But they cannot die, these originals. They only could die with this white oak stake that could kill them. And Klaus has that long tucked away. There were more members of the original family, but you'll have to get to watch the Vampire Diaries. And like I said, if not YouTube, look up the history of them. Okay, now we're taking place about New Orleans and how basically we get this season's all about family. This is what I loved about the originals. It's all about family. The family of basically Klaus, Elijah, and Rebecca, and their home in New Orleans of what they had. And Klaus's tentacle son, Marcel, who now runs the city. Now here's the thing, there are a lot of twists and turns here. There's a lot of alliances formed throughout this entire series. I gotta say, this season was amazing. For so many strong reasons. One, Klaus is having a baby. Not Klaus, a boy, but he had sex with a werewolf girl named Haley. She was trying to find out origins of her families, and her origins were from New Orleans. She's technically, to all werewolves in New Orleans, she's royalty. Because technically her mother and father were basically, not kings. I want to say they were basically royalty. They're like kings and queens of New Orleans for the werewolves. And all that shit. And here's the thing. Klaus has sex with her, one night stand, she got pregnant, she's carrying a baby. Elijah believes this is Klaus' one redemption for all the evil things he have done. He wants Klaus to love this baby, and so does Rebecca. Want him to love this baby, and a lot of twists and turns. But Klaus also wants security for his baby. He wants to take over New Orleans, of the place he once called home, because he used to run it with his family until Michael, his father, drove him away, and they had to leave New Orleans. But in his place was his basically adopted son, Marcel, who took over. Marcel is basically, Klaus met him during the 1860s, and Marcel was basically a slave. He was being tortured, whipped, and Klaus could relate because his father was very abusive to him, so he killed Marcel's basically whipper, and he basically raised him like a son. There's a lot of twists and turns of how Marcel loves Klaus and also hates him, and how he's basically the new king of New Orleans. So Klaus is trying to take his kingdom back from Marcel, secret-handedly doing little dirty deeds, making menaces along the way. Then Marcel has a lot of control over New Orleans because the witches have a small part. The werewolves are long gone. He controls witches. He controls everything. He has a key because he also has a little girl named Davina, who he saved from being killed. Davina is a witch. She's an extremely powerful witch for her age, and the thing is, though, there's a long explanation about her character, and I'll just give you the rundown. Basically, the New Orleans witches are very, very creepy, and they're insane. They practice sacrificial magic where they kill people and they'll use it as magic. They'll kill anything for sacrificial magic. They also perform ceremonial magic. They use their magic of their ancestors and graveyards in order to have their power. And they also believe something called the harvest, where basically self-sacrificing 4 young girls to absorb all this energy. They're resurrected, and they have more power and more stability for their community. Basically, none of the 4 girls knew that. So basically, they get these 4 group of girls like, oh, it'll be such a great honor if you do this harvest. But they don't tell them that you're going to kill them. So they were about to kill all of them, and Davina was the last one to just kill out of the 4. But Marcel stopped it, so Marcel took Davina like a child, like his own little girl, like a daughter. And Davina loves Marcel like a father, same like how Klaus loves Marcel. So we got the good father moment right there. We get like this little father touching moment. And there's many werewolf clans. We get the Crescent Moon clan. We get also some of Klaus's ancestors from his original biological father are in New Orleans as well. We get this whole bunch of royalty. We get to know about certain past histories of the originals, their loves, of who they've loved, of what their deeds they've done, and what the mistakes they have made in the past. Elijah basically loved a woman named Celeste, who eventually came back just recently to just screw around with the originals and to get payback on Elijah for not doing anything after she died, because technically it was Klaus's fault why Celeste died, but since she was so pissed at it, she came back and made Elijah choose between his siblings and a baby. So it's basically putting him against one another of his siblings. And the thing is, though, Celeste was even she practiced a lot of. She was, yeah, you don't want to mess with Celeste. Let's just say she was a very cool character. Another thing with all this stuff, Davina had all this power from the harvest, and then she basically had to die and she had to be resurrected. And there's many players in this game to control New Orleans. And basically, there was this one episode where Marcel fought Klaus, with Marcel and his army fought against Klaus. Alliances were formed among the originals, and this entire season went back and forth with alliances of who's on whose side, who's on what side, and basically what they're all standing for, and who's going to control New Orleans at the end. Now, I will recommend this show. I don't want to spoil much for it about certain characters, but you're going to love this series. Just good, like, there's right now, at the season finale, we just had a whole bunch of werewolf taking over New Orleans. Klaus and originals, Klaus and his sibling Elijah, along with his baby mama, basically, Haley, is trying to protect this place, and the baby was born. They named her Home Michelson in the season finale. They give it to Rebecca, so Rebecca and her have run off to be secure. Marcel is technically now siding with Klaus in this sense, and now they're against the werewolves, the witches, any vampires that come around, and now it's still a breakthrough of who's going to be on top of New Orleans and who's going to wear the crown. And basically, this entire season finale was not only about, this season was about family, but it was not just, it wasn't about like the Kingdom of New Orleans. It was just about security of a family. Security of a family and what family means to each other. And we get to like so many different characters. We get to see so many characters go. And this season was great. I totally recommend this season. Now, is this the best season of the originals / Vamp Diaries? We have one season of the originals right now, and we have like 4 to 5 seasons. No, 5 seasons now of the Vamp Diaries. Would I say it's the best of the entire series of Vamp Diaries / originals? I say it's almost best. To me, right now, my ranking is for like, since there's 6 seasons total of Vamp Diaries / originals. Number 6 on my list is Vamp Diaries Season 5. I'm not liking where it's going unless they change it around, which the season hasn't ended yet. We saw 2 more episodes or 1, and I'm not liking that so far. So, Season 5 is number 6. Number 5 will have to be Vamp Diaries Season 4. Still a pretty good season. Then after that, we have Season 2 of Vamp Diaries, which is a great season. Don't get me wrong, Vamp Diaries Season 2 is a great season. Totally recommend it. Then after that is Vamp Diaries Season 1, and then the final 2 one is the originals. Season 1, I give this a 9.6. Original Season 1, I give 9.6. And Vamp Diaries Season 3, I give like a 9.7. Just a little bit edgy because it has the right balance of the originals and Vamp Diaries characters. But overall, originals only had 1 season. They're already number 2 on the spot out of like 6 slots. 6 places. The Vamp Diaries has 5 seasons. The originals has 1. So they get the number 2 slot. I'm excited to see what the next one is. And yeah, I can't wait for the next season. I can't wait to know what's going to happen with Elijah, Klaus, and Haley, how they're going to take over New Orleans, what new alliances are going to be formed, what's going to happen, who's going to wear the crown, what will Michael do, what will the original family, the new resurrected original family will do now against Klaus, and will Rebecca and the baby return? That's the one thing I really want to know. But yeah, everyone, you should totally check out this season. Check out the originals. It's a great, great season. Let me know what y'all think, everyone. Subscribe if you like, disagree if not. Check out this video if you want. Y'all have a good day. Bye.